Welcome back to the Chevy Florida Insider Fishing Report here at the CCA Workbench. And Dave,
yeah,
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, you know, I've been, if you're a Florida person and you grew up in Florida, you're going to get certified to be a diver usually. I mean, if you like to go in the water. You don't like to go in the water, so you never done it.
I wonder what, is this bathtub rated?
Yeah, it probably is. But this is a nice, it's a Cressy, it's a BC. It's an Aqua Ride BC. And what a BC does, it's a buoyancy compensator. And what it does is it lets you fill it with air. You know, your tank goes on there, and you fill that thing with air until you get perfectly buoyant in the water. And that way you don't have to worry about going up and down all the time. You have your weights on here and everything, and it keeps you perfect. But there, let's take it off real quick if you think you can. Can you get it off? All right. Well, this thing, it comes with really nice weight releases in here. They're streamlined. They're inside the pack, so your weights go in here.
Oh, okay.
So they're not on your belt, and when you want a quick release, you just pull them right out, and they'll fall. It's also got really nice big pockets in the front. It's got D-rings all over it, so you can attach stuff to it. You know, it's just a really nice thing to have. If you're going to go diving these days, everybody uses a BC. It has 30 pounds of buoyancy, so you know, that's the medium. It'll pick you up and get you to the surface when you need to get there quick. It's got several ways to release the air, you know, from each side, and a mouthpiece on the other side if your tank, you know, if you need to blow it up yourself. And you know, when you got a big tank on your back, anything you can have to help you keep you floating and buoyant, it's a great thing. And you know, back when I started, when I was 17 years old, we didn't have BCs and stuff. I used just a plain old strap tank. You know, it was just a tank. So I had to use a lot of weights, and you had to get your weights perfect. Now you get enough weight, and you can level yourself out.
So let me get this right. You got a weight in here, so it helps you get down. But
Correct.
then when you're ready to come back up, you just take the weight out and.
No, you fill this up with more air, and you'll go up. You only use those emergency if you're in an emergency and you want to ditch those weights to get to the surface.
Yeah.
That's what those are for. You know, you can
pull
pull them right out and get to the top.
I gotcha.
All right, now these are really cool Scuba Pros, Sea-Wing Nova fins. You know, they got this twin beam design here. This thing right here is called a twin beam design, so that the whole end will flutter, and it gives you a lot more power. Evidently, you know, I had the old set of Scuba Pro turbo fins, and they would wear you out, man. They were really thick and wide. They had big holes going through them, and but they would wear your arch out. But these are really way more comfortable. What's really cool about these is, you know, you usually always have to problem, you know, adjusting them. These have a built-in bungee cord system.
Oh.
So these things get real tight on you, and they'll stay on. You don't have to worry about messing them and adjusting them all the time.
Now,
so
obviously I know nothing about this, so what do you put, a sock over?
Yeah, you wear a bootie,
yeah.
Or, you know, I wouldn't wear a sock, but you can get the little zip-up booties
okay.
neoprene booties to wear in them.
So that keeps you from getting blisters?
Get all rashed up. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Okay, now this is well, actually we'll do the regulators first. This is a Hollis regulator. This is the 200 XL regulator, and you know, really nice equipment they've got these days. You know, this sucker, it has an adjustment on the side to you know, adjust your flow, and it's also got a Venturi lever on the side too. It, you know, makes it go where you want it to go. Really nice mouthpiece. Extremely flexible, braided and strong cables on these things.
Right.
On the second stage here, it's fully rotatable. I mean, it rotates very freely, so when you get it on your tank, you don't have to mess with it a whole lot. It'll go to where it's supposed to go.
So why do you carry two, Dave?
Well, you have an extra in case this one freezes up or something. This one also has extra hoses, your high pressure hose for your depth gauge. Gotcha. And it also has another high pressure hose that goes to your BC, and it also has an extra port if you want to have a wireless transmitter that'll either transmit your depth or anything to a watch or a dive computer.
Speaking of a watch,
is what we have here. This is the Suunto Zoop Novo computer, and Suunto, actually, I have the very first GPS watch that was ever made. Was made by these same fellas.
Really?
Yeah, but that's got a huge display on the front, so it has really big characters. And when you're underwater, you know, in low light, you want to have big things to look at. It's got only 4 little buttons on it, so you don't have to worry about a ton of buttons to push. Again, you're usually wearing gloves when you're diving, so you need to have big buttons and not very many of them to get them. this is a computer that'll do air nitrox, and it has alarms for all the places where you need to stop, and it'll set a time for you. That's okay. You need to sit here for 10 minutes to, so you don't bend up and get nitrogen narcosis or actually when the nitrogen bubbles in your blood, the bends. You don't want to get those, and those little computers help you do that. We used to have to memorize little charts back in the day, and now you can get all that stuff and wear it on your wrist.
You still dive?
I haven't dove much in a long time, and it's a shame because I've been to a lot of the greatest places. I've dove in the Marshall Islands and Guadeloupe and Australia, and it's always fun.
As we get older, I guess we would need more weight to get down.
Yeah, no, I used to do brave, stupid things. I'd dive in the lakes here at night.
You come
when I was 17.
You
it was
come
just
from
crazy
Orlando
stuff.
to do this show every week. That's
Right.
pretty brave.
Yeah, exactly.